All right. Should there be a wait period for competitors who get early access to games and updates?
Yeah. So the reason this was brought up is because 2XKO just officially released on Wednesday. It's been in early access for almost a year or something like that. But right before the game was released, Riot Games invited several content creators out to try the full release and the new character early. Among those content creators were, I think, 3 or 4 people who do content creation but are also competitive 2XKO players.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So this caused a uproar because next weekend, as of this recording, so today's the 24th, next weekend is Frosty Faustings, a fighting game tournament, the first big tournament of the year.
Yeah.
And there is a $50,000 pot minimum for this tournament. So people are complaining that these people who are already good by playing the early access now have a competitive advantage because they got to go and play the game, the full release game, which had patches, which changed some things early. So this created a big debate on whether or not, one, competitive players should be allowed at these events, and 2, if they are, should they be banned from competing for X amount of time?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, if they're going to compete, $50,000. I mean, it isn't life-changing, super life-changing money, but it's a lot of money.
It's a lot of money
for someone who doesn't
to play video games.
Yeah, so
50,000, even a cut. Even obviously, first place probably isn't getting 50, but they're probably going to get 30.
Yeah, so like, I mean, I'm just going to use Justin Wong as a prime example. So if Justin Wong got to play this early, which he probably would, obviously, because it's Justin Wong.
Yeah.
But if he's going to enter the tournament, he's already good because it's Justin Wong.
Yeah.
He's already going to have an advantage.
Yeah.
Like, that's not fair to like me and you, even though he will wash us anyway. But I'm just saying, but like, you know, like there are people, this is people's living.
Yeah.
You know, and if it's a select few get invited to play this game, they already have the upper hand.
Yeah.
That's not fair.
Yeah.
You know, you're basically giving them an easy handicap to win this tournament. You know, anything can happen, but I agree they shouldn't be able to do that. And a lot of them that do get early access stream this stuff too.
Yeah.
You know, so that people's watching, so they're already kind of, you know, learning what to do before they even get the game, and just I personally don't like that, in my opinion.
So when did the game come out?
The game officially came out Wednesday. It was in early access since, I believe, October on PC only.
Okay.
So you could play.
So 3 months?
You could play the game for 3 months online, by yourself, whatever, as long as you had a PC. It was free to play. You didn't even have to pay for it.
Mm-hmm.
So you have a portion of people complaining that, hey, I only play on console. So now I'm behind the 8 ball from the jump.
Right.
Because I don't get the game until a week before this tournament.
Mm-hmm.
But then you have people who've had the game for early access, and they've been doing little side tournaments where, you know, viewers add to the pot, so they might get $100 if you win.
But when did these influencers technically get the game?
They went out to Riot. The influencer event was literally last week.
Okay.
So a week before official game release, 2 weeks before the tournament.
Okay. Now, see, that's not that bad. But when you said it was in early access like a year, I'm like, oh, yeah, a year. That's just not fair at all. But a week can make a big difference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It can. So I do get it from that perspective. But when I first read this, I thought you meant like people who get access to characters. So like, you know, like the DLCs.
Yeah.
Like Rivals. There'll be people playing as characters like 3 weeks before the character drops.
Yeah.
And I'm like, how the freak, you know what I mean? Like, I could see like I thought you were saying like in a competition with like those type of people, is that unfair? And I'm like, yeah, of course that's unfair. They are already, we don't even know how to play against the character yet, and then all of a sudden they've had the character for weeks to learn. Like, yeah, that's unfair. But
Yeah. So on that note, that's one of the things that people are arguing about is because when 2XKO had its official release, they were releasing a new character along with it.
oh, then yeah.
It's not only the new character, but also the balance changes that
Mhm.
these people were able to play.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I've been watching some videos of people talking about it, one of which Rooflemonger, who is a content creator. He's not really a competitor. He just makes fighting game content on YouTube. He got invited out there and he explained that there are different types of events where the advantages can be different. He said there can be influencer events like the one Riot just had, where what happened was they brought you out, you toured the facility, and they gave you 3 hours with the new character so you can make content for your YouTube channel. They gave you no patch notes. They gave you no instructions on how to use the character. They're just like, here, have at it, but you only have 3 hours.
Okay.
So in a situation like that, I could see there's not really that much of a competitive advantage because you don't know what you're doing.
Right.
You have no guidelines. They're not telling you, hey, you could do this. Yeah, you could figure a thing out or two, but most of the people who get the game when it dropped will figure it out in that same day. So the advantage isn't that big. But there are also other types of access where, like you said, someone gets access to it 3 weeks early in their home, and they can mess with it as much as they want from then on.
Yeah, and then that's completely unfair.
Yeah,
That's completely unfair because you're going to there are always those lab monsters who's going to go into practice mode for 6 hours a day and learn the ins and outs of everything.
And some of them break it down within the hour.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like, those are the ones that are like the content creators and, the better pro players and stuff like that. So it is an unfair advantage.
So that brings up the question. One, should there be bans? And two, if there are, what would you set the ban to be? Because Trash Talk, Brian F's podcast about stuff, they were talking about it. They're like, at a certain point, there's diminishing returns. Even if you're a lab monster and you're in practice mode 8 hours a day, after a certain point, what you know doesn't matter about more than what you can actually do in competition. So he's like, if I have access to this for 3 weeks, for example, should I be banned for a month, a year? Because 3 weeks of unfiltered time, you can learn a lot.
Yeah.
So, but at what point would the regular person who, when they get access 3 weeks later, would it balance out?
Like us.
I wouldn't say us because I have no delusions of ever winning a major tournament.
Okay, that's all right.
So I have obviously less knowledge on this than y'all. But to me, what sound fair is this: they got it a week early, and the tournament is in 2 weeks, so that only gives somebody a week to prepare.
Yeah.
I don't think they should be allowed in that tournament.
That 100%.
Now,
absolutely.
If the tournament was a month after release, and it's like, okay, well, it's been out for 4 weeks. I've had it for 5. You had it for 4. Then I can kind of see that making sense.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, okay, well, you should have figured it out, or you should have been able to compete by now.
Yeah.
But like 3 weeks or so, then I think it should be like 2 or 3 months. Like, it should be to where it makes sense.
Yeah.
But like, imagine if you had a game for 3 weeks and Malik had the game for a week, and then y'all go to compete. You should destroy him.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But maybe in another month or two, it balances out.
Right.
Depending on how much you play. So I could see it being something like that. But yeah, this being a week out and someone having 2 weeks to play versus someone having a week to play, especially when you factor in, I mean, it's not the creators' problem, but you factor in people going to work and all types of stuff like that. Like in a week, you'd be like, I was only able to play this game, in 8 hours. In 2 weeks, he played in 16 hours. You know what I mean? Like,
but to be fair, like the people that went to this event out at Riot, they had just the 3 hours, the one time. That's it.
That's not much of an advantage to where that would matter. That shouldn't matter.
That shouldn't matter.
Yeah. So, so that's my thoughts on it.
But that was like the perception was like us as outsiders looking in. All most of us knew is these people got invited out there,
right,
and was allowed to play the game early.
Right.
The details of what their restrictions weren't made public.
Yeah.
So people are just knowing there's a guy named Diaphone.
Mm-hmm.
He's already a favorite to win.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Then he got invited out here to play it early. And now there's 2 weeks before there's a major tournament. So now it just casts not doubt, but like suspicion
that he's going to win it.
That even if he does win it, you're going to have those people that are going to say, even though he only had 3 hours with it with no instructions, they're going to say, oh, the only reason he won is because he had early access.
Right.
But again, that 3 hours, that's not
a lot.
It's not, no.
It's not a lot, especially when you don't have anything.
And he's in a controlled environment
yes.
for 3 hours. If this was like he's at home and able to do exactly what he wants, like you said, and he has unlimited access to it, then absolutely, that's an advantage. But 3 hours a week ago, that's not.
3 hours a week ago, I think Rufelmonger said they were only allowed to play around with the new character.
Mm-hmm.
And like I said, you only had 3 hours to record stuff for your YouTube channel.
Yeah, no, that's not that big of an advantage to where it should matter.
Yeah, but, I agree. But like I said, there are instances of people getting, like you said, with the guy with Rivals.
Mm-hmm.
They get access 3 weeks early and have unfiltered access to it for as much as they want for the 3 weeks.
Right.
They should definitely be banned for at least some period of time from major competition.
Yeah, I agree.
Speaking of Rivals, have you played Rivals?
I have not.
Well, so overall, how do you like Deadpool overall?
I literally played him that one day. And he was cool. He was fun.
What'd you play as?
Healer. That's what I always do. Yeah. I heal. I like to heal.
Well,
I think I did DPS once, but generally I heal.
It seems like everyone likes to tank with him more. But he as far as like the support and the tanking is cool. DPS I was kind of like, but he's all right.
Yeah,
cool.
I have fun with him.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
I haven't played yet.
Yeah, they did nerf Gambit though, which was needed bad. But anyways,
okay. And all y'all got for that?
Yeah, like I said, I just like you said, like it's just I do think like with Frosty Falcons coming up, whoever had the access a couple weeks or whatever they did, they should sit out for Frosty Falcons.
Should they? Because they only had 3 days. Only 3 hours. They only had 3 hours.
Well, okay. So if Diaphone had 3 hours, even though he would destroy me anyway, if I'm signing up to play, like that's not an event. Obviously he would destroy me anyway. But what if someone's like Diaphone gets the plays early and then someone like Goichi goes? It's like, well, that's not fair to Goichi, even though Goichi will hold his own anyway. I'm just using someone.
I'm just thinking, but is 3 hours with only able to use Caitlyn, which might not even be a character he will use.
I know, hey, time is time. I mean, 3 hours is still 3 hours.
3 hours is still 3 hours.
Still
but
advantage. 3 hours is a lot of time.
I don't think it's that much of an advantage when...
But if you give me 3 hours with a character that I'm not going to use, or a character that I don't even like...
And two, don't even know how to use. It's not like...
Right.
They're like... Because remember when we was at... I think it was at EVO, when we were trying City of the Wolves. When we were trying out Andy Bogart.
That was Combo Breaker.
It was Combo Breaker?
Yeah.
And they gave us, like, here's his moves.
Yeah.
I don't even think they got that.
Oh.
Where, they told us, hey, here's what you could do with Andy when we got to try him out.
Right, yeah.
I don't even think they did that. I think they literally just said, here's a controller, figure it out.
Yeah. Oh, they kept trying to give us past some stupid damn stick. They kept trying to give us some goddamn stickers.
The stickers.
Oh my God.
But like, I don't think that they should not go to Frosty, but I think from this point on in the future, companies and tournament organizers should work together and be like, hey, we're going to invite these people out to this thing.
Yeah.
And hey, if you come here, you can't participate in the next X amount of major tournaments. Let them know ahead of time. If you come out here, this is what you're agreeing to.
Mm-hmm.
You can't enter.
You sign the contract.
Mm-hmm.
It says you can't.
Yeah, you can't enter. That way, the person who's been invited can decide whether or not they want to go.
Right.
Because I'm 99% sure if Riot would have said that to Diaphone and K7 and the other, I think there's 2 other guys that are competitive 2XKO players, you come to this event, you can't enter Frosties. They'd have been like, okay, then I'm not coming.
Right.
Because they're not getting paid to go to the event, but they can get paid by winning Frosty.
Right.
So they'll be like, okay, invite someone else. I'm not going to come.
Or if they do the event, you can't use that character.
But even if you, part of it is, even if you don't use the character, if you, not in this 3-hour situation, but in other situations, if you know what they can and can't do, that's still an advantage.
That's a good point. That's a good point. Yeah. I got you.
So you're basically saying if it depends on the time, but I think they shouldn't. But
I think it depends on the amount of time and the amount of access they have. Like I said, a 3-hour play session where you're only allowed to use a new character. They don't give you any details on what's going on. You're not going to get too much information. You might get a sliver of information, but not enough to the point where it's any major advantage that can't be overtaken within a couple hours of someone going into training mode with full access to the game.
Right.
Okay.
But if it was, hey, you have a week with the game and you can do whatever we want, you can go into practice mode, you can figure out what buffs and nerfs we made, you can do all of that, then yeah, you ain't allowed to go. But when it's that such a limited scope, I don't see an issue with it, but I think there's going to be a perception issue, especially if K7, Diaphone, or one of the other ones who went end up winning next weekend.
Gotcha.